Hey there. Hi. Oh, you're back home in Leavenworth, Kansas. Got it. Wow, that was a long trip. But yeah, I guess Miatas are built for that traveling around, and I guess it was pretty up there because in game it was really pretty to fly over Prairie du Chien and down the Mississippi a little bit. Very pretty part of the country. Cheers. I got some Diet Coke here. Welcome to the stream. We got yet another Kench Niner stream banging on the desk. Always a bad idea when I got cameras mounted on the back of the desk by a very thin arm with springs on it. But I digress. Yeah, so we have the Himalayan salt lamp. We got the Twitch glitch sign. We got the Lego logo, the Love Lego. So we're ready to go, basically. What's today's stream going to be like, you ask? But I'm going to tell you anyway. Well, first of all, this is officially powered by Diet Coke, not sponsored by Diet Coke. I got to buy it by myself. I got to buy it myself. But I'm still hoping someday. It looks like these cans. This latest can has this space available for rent right here because it doesn't say FIFA. So I mean, if you had enough money, you could go to the Diet Coke Corporation and say, I want to put my business logo right there, and they'll do it. That's what they do these days. They're more of an advertising company. Oh yeah, check it out. That's actually a pretty good show, I thought. But you know what I mean? I kind of think they all are. All right, so cheers. There's a Diet Coke. Of course, there's the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. That's what I use to fly around a Microsoft Flight Simulator, which will be the first part of the show. Where we're gonna go, probably not. Well, I'm still working on the city update, so I'm thinking we got some choices. We got I don't know what a Chiquamagon is, but it was in there. There's Duluth, there's Lake Minnetonka, St. Croix River, and we haven't really done St. Paul. So there's still quite a few things to do from the City Update 15 that was listed there. All right, then there was going to be the Big Brain Games today, like every day. That's where I whip up some of the old daily web browser-based puzzle games like the Quirtle, the Revealed, the Tightrope Trivia, the Reunion, the Loop, the New York Times Connections, and maybe even an Octurl to wrap things up. Then there'll be a short break, and then I'm going to take my piano, which is currently leaning over there on the side of the wall, slap it down here on the stand, plug everything in. Oh my God, it's a pachka, but I do it every single time. And magically transform this space into Ken's Piano Lounge. And I'm going to try to play the piano. I'm not going to try. Well, there is no try, so I'm just going to play the piano. There is either play or play not. Anyway, cheers, anyone. I don't know. Yummy. Man, it's fine as it is. All right. So let's see. We got Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right. So where was it going to go? I don't know what a Chiquamagon is, but I'm going to look and see where it is. It's Chiquamagon. Okay, it's a bay in Wisconsin, but where exactly? Okay, it's near the very north part of Wisconsin. Yeah, there. Interesting. I've definitely never flown around here before. Let's check it out. All right. So what are we going to fly in? That's the next thing to decide. We can go anywhere in the world and any kind of plane that I currently have. I don't want to fly the same plane twice in a row, although that is a lovely plane. We'll do the Optica. It's always a great sightseeing plane. And have flown for a while. Yay. It's specifically designed for sightseeing. All right, what kind of liveries we got? We got Ether, Cascade, Nebula, Solaris. That's the yellow. Tempest. Vortex looks pretty good, right? They're all kind of cool. Actually, Nebula looks really good. Let's do Nebula. It's blue. All right. Doesn't matter. Okay. So that's the paint job we're picking for today. All right. So I can find it by reckoning effectively, right? Because it's very distinctive. It's right there. Or, it's right here. Sorry. It's this area right here. This is the Chiquamagon Bay. So I assume the area here has been improved. You notice it doesn't say it on the map, but I'm following along with Google Maps here. So yeah, Ashland, things like that. Okay, so what do we have? We have a little airport there, and we have a little grass field there. I'm just checking out. That's asphalt up there. There's actually a bunch of little airfields in the area. We'll start off here. It could be kind of interesting. But again, the only reason I'm picking this, I've never been here before, and it was mentioned in the City Update 15 as something that's been updated. Of course, I have no basis of comparison. All right, we're going to start in the ramp so that we can do our cold start procedure. Pretty simple on the single engine. Let's say it's just a regular, I believe, just a regular, like a Rotax aviation engine, but it's contained in it's what they call a ducted fan. Um, Unusual ducted fan configuration where the engine's down in there, but basically the blade is completely inside of that duct there. So that's the ducted fan, and it's got this cool teardrop shape. I believe it's based on a real plane, but I don't know for sure. It seems a little impractical, but that's fine. Let's get in here and start her up. All right. Well, up here there's going to be a key start, right? But first I got to find the fuel. Okay, the fuel valve is here. So that's open. Throttle is slightly open. Well, actually, I want to set the mixture to full. Throttle is slightly open. Parking brake on. Electronics on. Battery on. Generators on. Don't worry about that. Fuel pump on. Beacon lights, right? Turn on strobe lights, indicating that we're going to be starting the engine. So this guy knows we're about to start the engine. Let's see. I think that's it. Now we can start it from the key up here. And then basically should start right up. Let's get our Garmin booted. Okay, so the Garmin should boot pretty soon. Autopilot, transponder to on. Seems good. That's going to boot up there. Taxi lights, panel lights, nav lights. Probably don't need that. Okay. It's funny, it has a starter button, but it also starts from the key. It's a little weird that way. Okay, yes. Okay, there we go. Now it should give us the map. All right, let's see if we got a radio. We do have a radio on. I've never flown this airport before. I guess just now it's taxi. Looks like a beautiful day. I have live weather turned on, I'm sure. That would not turn on. Looks like we're going to have one of these ways. Let's see. Which way is the... I don't know. It should tell us. Maybe head out that way. Excuse me, sir. I said it that way. I think it's this way. Yep, I was right. Very, very simple to fly. I mean... And these giant windows make it perfect for sightseeing. Basic controls. And you can see, great visibility in all directions. Seems like purpose built for sightseeing, which is fine. I don't know if we're going to need this whole runway. Which runway does one go? Yeah, okay, so it wants us to go, which runway? Runway 2. So runway 2 is facing that direction. Because that's runway 20, right? Okay. It'll be fine. Alright, so flaps to there, to here. Slightly positive trim. We're going to take out this way. I don't care, it's fine. Full power. It was wrong way, but I don't care. They won't care, I don't think. Alright, got some speed going here. There we go. Speed indicators alive. Plane is flying. Does not have any kind of retractable gear. Just sits there. Do not over rotate. All right. So from what I remember, where we're going is north, the other direction. So we'll make a big sweep and turn here. And not the fastest plane in the world by any means. So you do have to be careful to keep it within its envelope. Not too slow, not too fast. Let's see. So this is the little airfield we took off from. I don't know how much area has been redone, but it specifically mentioned Chequamegon Bay. I don't know, and that's this bay up ahead. It looks very pretty. It's very colorful. Looks like we are getting some points of interest. What need this? So yeah, this is basically okay. Slow down a bit here. But yeah, now that we get up to here, a little negative trim built into the system. That's too much negative trim. -5. That will give us a nice, even vertical speed without having to pull up or down the stick too much, I think. Engine's in the green range. The other thing we're going to do is manually, it does have a manual mixture. We're going to back off the mixture so that we're not overheating the engine. So here we are at the beautiful Chequamegon Bay. I don't know what the something like that. But of course, all the areas here are old Indian names. This is the community of Ashland, which I think is the biggest community on the bay. Obviously, stay nice and low here. But it's basically a tributary of Lake Superior. The kind of the northern west of the Great Lakes, kind of the first one. So one of the things I mentioned that I saw that they did was they add a lot of naval, maritime traffic here. But this is Ashland. Okay, it's a little three street town here. I'm guessing probably, that's probably power generation. It's not really fully three-dimensional, but that's fine. You'd think they would have. But again, it does look very beautiful, and we're going to go check out there. We'll fly over the bay and check out the marine level, but I want to see Ashland. I bet there's 900 communities in America called Ashland. The one I'm familiar with is in Oregon, and it's nowhere near here, but it's another Ashland. It looks quite different. So, okay, so this is Lake Superior, but this is just a little bay. But as soon as you get out there, you get to get the feeling for how gigantic Lake Superior is. I mean, the Great Lakes are humongous. You cannot see the other side of them. They're humongous. All right, so then there's something sticking out here. So this is it. I mean, we're here. This is our one time to explore the area before I check out other things. So I'm going to check out what there's to check out. Looks like there's some, ships here. There's a lot of stuff in the water, but it's not showing up that well, frankly. Yeah, that is definitely a sailing ship. Or nice sailboat with lots of sails. Beautiful, actually. There's a bunch of that one. It's probably unique to this area. Because there's another one. We're gonna get lower. I feel like I'm too high to see some of the details on these things here. Watch out for overspeeding. So then you get these protected marinas here. Oh yeah, okay, so that's Ashland. I want to kind of see the other side of the bay, which I suspect is not much there, but there's a little point of interest, so we're going to check it out. This is, of course, what it looks like from the position here. If I look to the left, I see what's at the left. If I look to the right, I can see what's at the right. I don't know where my training partner is today, but I don't care. Yeah, there's like 1 million copies of that sailboat, flying out and running around out there. But we're going to come up here, and then we're going to go north to that community there and see if there's anything cool. I don't think there's much south. But again, we are kind of on the edge of the country here because, the north side of Lake Superior is Canada. Is Ontario specifically, or and so this is kind of as far, not really as far north as you can get, but it's effectively in a very isolated part of the country. But it would take a while to get to Canada. I think you can see it in the distance there, right? I'm not actually sure you can see it. No, you can't, because what it looks like there, that looks like the other side of Lake Superior is just the beginning of Lake Superior. You can't see Lake Superior from here. It's so huge. You think, oh, is that it? No, no. Well, I guess you can kind of see. I think okay. You can kind of see into Lake Superior for there, but just a tiny part of it. I mean, just a tiny part of it. It's a really big lake. That's big. Have I mentioned something about its size recently? All right, let's talk about it. All right, so I don't know what that is. Oh, while I was talking about lakes, I got too much altitude. I guess we should have a little more negative trim. I wanted to see what this area looked like over here. I got turned around. It's in Barksdale, I believe. I don't know, maybe some dogs. Again, it just looks like, yeah, right. So behind us there, that's Ashland. And then this is the part of this bay here. It does look very pretty. But again, and I'm sure they've worked on it a lot. You can tell it's one of these improved areas just from the topography. So there's nothing there. It just says Barksdale. It's like an intersection. There's a few houses. I don't know what they do. Farming, maybe logging would work. I don't know what they do here. Maybe fishing. Actually, it could well be fishing. It could well be fishing, commercial fishing going on. Lake Superior. Got some estates down there. You know what I mean? Some really fancy housing. That's another estate area, I think. So these are all estates that are waterfront to Lake Superior. I mean, I don't think you'd want to get on a boat and go somewhere because it's a huge. It's actually going in the ocean. It's such a big lake. You have giant wind. Trim should be around -7, right? There we go. All right, but it's a beautiful area. We got some areas where it's been cleared, apparently maybe for agriculture. And this is the beautiful town of whatever the hell it is. We're probably going to land here and try to get to another point of interest that's been marked on the updated map. I'd just like to visit them at least once. And the vehicle speed's slow. Engine maybe -8. There we go. I think one of the things is as you burn fuel in this plane, the nose gets a little lighter, but we're not burning fuel too fast. I'm just going to push the nose down here so we can dive bomb this town. This town looks about as big as Ashland. It also has a little airport. But again, yeah, Lake Superior frontage. I'm thinking in the winter it's colder than shit here, frankly. But what do I know? I'm not a winter person. And probably not a lot of, it'd be kind of dark and gloomy. But I don't know. Very pretty. Get your kind of main square, I think, kind of there. Somewhere around here. Like a school over there. I don't fly with a school. I think it's a school. Probably a couple of schools. But this one just screams school. It's either school. Yeah. You got your fields, your track and field area. Your pergolas for eating outdoors. Maybe a swimming area there. It is definitely a school. It's just not a very fancy one. It's probably like one of the K-12s or something, small community. What's it called again? Let's see, fly into the sign here. Washburn. Okay, I used to have a guitar called the Washburn. They were not from here though. But Washburn is probably another very common town name. All right, so they have a little airport up there. I'm gonna fly over it and see if it's suitable. But yeah, it's a very pretty area. Okay, that may be another school area because there's a field. Well, maybe just a park, not a school. I'm thinking more of a park. And like a beach park area maybe, or lakefront, something or other there. Okay. Anyway, there's some kind of field here. I think it would mention it was long enough. There's a bunch of other places out to land, but I don't want to fly around here forever. I think we got a feeling for it. There's the bay. Right, that is literally there. I mean, I'm sure if we flew some distance from here, it'd start looking a little more boring and less detailed. Okay, so this is the old dairy. Is that a grass field though? I don't know if I want to land on grass. We're not that far from a more serious. Yeah, this is just a grass field. Technically, you should not be landing. That should be really for glider tows or ultralights. This is not considered an ultralight. And even then, landing on grass and taking off on grass is probably, or like biplanes and things like that. So I don't know. We're not too far from another airport, I believe. Let's just check the old flight planner. It's this one up here. Oh yeah, this one here. So it's actually on this island. But this one is a real, I believe, a real runway, right? 3,000 feet, yeah, of asphalt. So yeah, that's where we're gonna land. So we're actually gonna land on this island here. I don't know what island it is, but it's an island in Lake Superior, which I imagine has quite a few islands. It's that island there. Interesting. There's like a sandbar there. Okay. And then there's another airstrip up there, but I don't think we'll make it quite that far. But we're basically lined up. We're flying over water a bit. And yeah, these planes really, I mean, I guess they're really, you can really cruise. If you get enough altitude, you can cruise around 100 knots, but we're not really at a high enough altitude to get that. And the ducted fan is nice and quiet in some ways. In some ways it's efficient because it has reduced turbulence, but in some ways it's not because of the extra weight of the duct, the extra weight and complexity of the structure requiring you to have that large duct around the fan, effectively the propeller. And the extra complexity of having that shape of the that teardrop shape. I would say it's not really a success. It's probably not a practical design in terms of efficiency, and you can tell in the simulation it's just not a very fast plane. And for sightseeing, speed not necessary, but for actually getting from point A to point B, it is kind of an issue. So we're gonna land at this little island. Never been around here before. First time landing at this little airport, and we'll check it out. It says La something. What does it say here? All the airports here. La Pointe, like Lapointe, Point, the Point. What's the point of calling your town the Point? All right, we're a little high up. We're 2,000 feet up. We should be under 2,000 by now. Reducing power. Plus more bow ships down there. That's what it looks like from here. You can see we look a little high up from here, and we're gonna have to lower altitude a bit. Because we're going pretty fast. I'm not gonna put my flaps down until kind of last minute. This looks like a pretty island, but I mean, one of these great things, there's no bridges to this island. You clearly have to boat or fly in. So it doesn't, for permanent living, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I have the temperament for that. But I'm sure some people love it. And there's just a little community there. I'm sure people live there year round, but yeah, it's a classic, living on a small island we're nowhere near the middle of Lake Superior. I mean, Lake Superior is tremendous. And there's some real big islands. This is not a big island. I guess these are the Apostle Islands. And the one we're approaching is Madeline Island, I believe it is. Oh yeah, Madeline Island. Oops, power. Start putting some flaps down. I got some trailing edge flaps there. I'll slow it down a bit. This power. Maybe some altitude here. Yeah, so La Pointe is the city on Madeline Island, and there's a Big Bay State Park. Is that part of it right there? Right there, okay. Or right there, actually. Kind of in that distance. Other than that, I don't see anything much on. Okay, Basswood Island. I'm looking at the names of the little islands and stuff. It's kind of fun. Looking down. Oh, yeah, check out this. There's actually a decent-sized marina. As I say, you're most likely you're boating in. There's probably a ferry service or something, which means you could like take your car in maybe, on a ferry and then drive around because it's like got roads. But that's the town. I mean, there's not much happening. La Pointe. There's no other town. All right. Flaps to almost full. Here we are. Yeah, we're kind of high up here. I'm just altitude. I'm gonna slow down a bit here. It's a propeller plane, so I'm not concerned about having to keep up. It's a beautiful day to fly into Madeline Airport. Madeline Island Airport. I can already tell there's going to be a cool building or something back there. We'll find out. But yeah, I can't just abandon. I always like to take off and land a couple times. That's the highlight. A little less power. When we're down. We're still at 900 feet. But I think we'll make it. Playing a runway here. Well, gentle landing called for. Oops, I keep forgetting how low we are. Still gentle enough. So not a lot of wind today, but we did land kind of into the wind here. Got about 3-knot wind there. And it's a cool little airport here. Flaps retracted. Oh, we got like a biplane and a control tower, radar tower. Stuff to see. Got our Edgeley Optica. And it's a beautiful day wherever the hell we are. This is actually would probably be a really fun airport to come and hang out and watch the planes fly in and out of. Being a tourist. Alright, parking brake on. Turn the engine off via the, there we go, magneto. Engine turns off. Alright, well, where was that? Okay, so we're going to check off. We'll do another one. I'm going to do another flight because, we got plenty of time. But I'm checking off from the list. Check Quamagon Bay and area. I guess we'll just do St. Paul today because it's going to be easy to do a quick flyover. Let's go to St. Paul. Well, we already did Minneapolis this twin seat, but I did not get St. Paul because it's it was plenty of flying. We also did Mall of America. Okay, so St. Paul. So this is where we were. It's really the middle of nowhere. Wow. And then if I zoom out a bit, you see how big that's all that blue area is just part of Lake Superior. This is Lake Superior. This is a tiny part of Lake Superior, but look how huge Lake Superior is. That's the whole Lake Superior right there. All right, so St. Paul is dang it, where's St. Paul? I'll just look it up. Yeah, there's a downtown field. Oh, that's not that close. We may have to, it's cloudy there. We may have to adjust the weather if we're going to see anything. It might be high clouds. But there's a couple of airports in the area. This is not the kind of the international airport. This is the one that's real close to downtown St. Paul. All right, so it looks like everything's good here. Switches are on. That's all good. Okay, parking brake is on. Let's generate full power. Take our parking brake off. Get full power going. Well, let's leave it for now. A little bit of crosswind trying to push us to the left for some reason, even though the wind's going the other way. All right. So this is the downtown. This is the real easy way to get to St. Paul. Oops. I didn't try to exit. I try to exit. All right. And it's you'll see in a second. We're gonna make a turn, and it's right there. That's right there, St. Paul. So we'll turn around. I'll leave the weather as is. It's overcast, but there's still plenty of visibility. And it is June, so it's probably nice and not terribly cold. But I imagine this would have been an airport that had a lot of, probably was busier with jet traffic before the international airport opened, which is a little more modern, I think. But I don't think you see a lot of commercial flights operating in here now. They could, but I just don't think so. I don't know. Maybe they do. You definitely have a full-length runway. But I think the main reason is that communities don't want loud airports operating right near downtown, even if they were there. Which doesn't, in Vegas, they got the airports right downtown. All right, so they freshened up St. Paul. By the way, in that distance there where those buildings are right behind us, that's Minneapolis, which we did check out, but we didn't make it to St. Paul. They are called the Twin Cities because they're only about 10 miles away. Well, I guess 15 miles or something. So there's plenty of people who live like halfway between and effectively can go to either location. But St. Paul is a little smaller, or is noticeably smaller than Minneapolis, but it's still got some modern buildings, got some old buildings, got like high-rise hotels. And I think it has its own convention center, although Minneapolis has one. And I think it's right here, this one right here, for some kind of entertainment. Yeah, these are stadiums. So it's got its own kind of stadium and entertainment complex area here, right there. I'm guessing baseball, but they're covered, which is good because the weather's not always good there. And that's kind of like a civic center area right there. Very pretty. When the weather's nice, lots of. Oh yeah, there's this one. There's like the St. Paul's Cathedral. It's not St. Paul's. That's another one. But the point is, very pretty. I think this looks better than last time. And that would certainly be one of the buildings that they would have freshened up. There's a bunch of parking over there. I think that's a hospital, though. I'm not sure. And then this is possibly, I don't know. But it looks really cool. Oops, horsepower. Trim. Right. That's like it's, some kind of government facility buildings there, museum, library, that sort of thing. Very nice. And as usual, lots of highway access and not a lot of train, commuter rail access. Just not a thing in America that much. Well, so that one's definitely a hospital. That's a hospital complex there. You see, they have the helicopter landing pads on it. There's a kind of a cool multicolored building right below us there. And then yeah, basically it's on the river. Up there. I don't know if we could actually go under any of these bridges. They're not very high up. But there is literally only one way to freaking find out. This one up here looks pretty good, actually. It's a cool looking bridge with an island on the bridge, very detailed. And again, there's downtown St. Paul waterfront area there. What I'm doing? Lower, much lower. I bet we can get under here. In fact, I bet you can get a big plane under here. This is a little plane. Oh, you definitely can. And there we go. Whee! Is there any other... Oh, yeah. Power generation. Lots of power things going on there. I wonder if that's nuclear. I don't think it's nuclear. It's hard to tell. It doesn't have the cooling towers. Probably not. But you can definitely see a lot of power generation, all the electrical power distribution going on here. This is, what did this say here? Hold on. Okay, gotta get right up close to my screen to read this. Lilydale. I mean, it's hard to read them. They should make more readable. So I'm thinking this is it's not an island, but it's Lilydale, and there's just a little something on it. A couple of roads. Not much to do there, I would think. Lilydale. Okay, but it's not an island. It's kind of an isthmus. I'm thinking. And then we have Mendota Heights. This is all very interesting terrain. And it will get a lot, if we head up that way, it's going to get a lot more suburban. Because the whole area between St. Paul and Minneapolis is pretty much, bedroom communities. If we head this way, right there, I think is the international airport, right? Okay. And that's also where we were for the... to see the Mall of America. But we didn't head out kind of this side. And, yeah, we starting to get into these bedroom communities, but I think those are like townhouses. I'm not sure. Apartments. Pretty big. Those are definitely apartments. All right, let's just plop our ass down on the main airport. Why not? Ain't no law. Mendota Heights or something like that. I guess you're kind of high up. But, you know, we got these gigantic runways over here. We don't need a big runway. I just want to check what this thing is over here. And some of these places look like they have decent-sized yards, you know? A good size, you know, 6-bedroom houses there, and they're not cookie cutters. Definitely Americans know how to build their McMansions. Mendota Heights looks like a place where, you know, that's a school. Where fancy, you know, reasonably fancy people live. Alright, let me just check out what the orientation of this runway is here. You see how busy this airport is. You wouldn't just be dropping in on it. Yeah, okay, basically we're just going to come in, make a sharp right, and land right there. Okay. I'll start putting the flaps down a little bit already. Reduce engine speed. Okay. Where's that runway? It's right there. We're just going to like zip down and land on it. All right. I'm not going to call in and warn ahead. I'm not going to say, hey, is the airspace clear? I was going to say, give me my runway. I own it. I literally own this game. It means I own the whole earth. Oh, wait, cheers, everyone. Diet Coke. Okay, almost full flaps. This should be all we need. A lot less power, though. We're going kind of fast. So we got to bring our fan down to speed here. All right, so those buildings up there, that's Minneapolis. St. Paul is that direction, right? Yeah, somewhere around there. I could be wrong about that. No, yeah, Minneapolis is north, and St. Paul is like east. Yeah, there, from this airport. And the Mall of America is right there, kind of just right there off the property of the. We already went there sometime. Less power. A little more down. Oh, we have to land a little long on this runway here. That's our speed. That's fine. We do not have speed brakes or spoilers, but we're coming kind of fast. You've got to remember this time, the airplane is pretty. You feel like you're about to hit the runway, but you're still kind of above it a ways because the airplane lands really low. Okay. We're going too fast. So way too fast to land. We'll just bounce. Now's the time we can burn off some speed. We're still a ways above the thing there. There we go. There we go. Nice little soft landing. What you want to see. Flaps up. And there we go. Another good flight. Another safe landing. Another happy landing. All right, and that constitutes the flight simulation part of the show. But can't you 9 or 9 or television programs? Or we're just going to park it here, I don't care. This is out of the way, nobody cares. Especially on me. And unfortunately, we can't just sit here and admire it with the doors open, but that's a whole other story. All right, so we're going to shut off the engine again. This time I'm going to shut it off by doing this. All right, turn off everything. Oh, and the mixture, right? And then everything cuts off. And then you really should turn this off too. All right. What's that? It's kind of a fire suppression first aid kit. It's got is that an axe back there for some reason? Yeah. I don't know what that is. Excuse me. All right. Well, it was fun though. All right. Let me go to the just chatting category for the next part of the show. Since we will not be flying, we will be effectively chatting. That is what it is. All right, just chatting. There we go. There you go. All right, back to my face for a second here. Let's get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator, main menu. While I queue up the first big brain game of the day, which is the Quirtle. It's kind of a warm-up game. I got to worry about today. Is Sunday, so it will be the hardest tightrope trivia of the day. Of the week, you know, they start the week. It's a weekly kind of reset here. Alrighty here. So starting off with one of they do like 5 of these a day for every single day. I usually end up doing them, just one for this part of the show though. So I'm picking the extreme. The extreme and the rescue are the 2 hard ones. But let's do they're similar. Okay, this upper right one could be curvy or curry. Interestingly, so I don't want. I'm gonna wait on that one. We have another V. I don't know if we're gonna have a V word. Then this word here, I'm gonna guess upper left could be spec. Yeah, can that eliminates the K, but that's fine. Now we got one word. Then we get here. This word on the lower right could be abbot. It fits, and I know it's in the dictionary. Okay, good. We still don't know if it's curvy or curry, and I've actually I think we're gonna have to guess two guesses. Now this word could be something U, something ER. I'm gonna go on that theory. But what could it be? Because we have another thing. Could it be? Let's see. I'm not sure about that theory because I don't see anything that would fit that. Ruder. Oh my goodness. Like, it's not going to be ruder. All right. So now we still don't know if it's curvy or curry. So let's guess curvy because, it's either going to tell us, it doesn't matter. We got two guesses. Oops. Sorry. Oops. Curvy. It was curry. Let's see, we have two guesses, right? It can't be anything else. Yeah. Both are both are perfectly valid 5-letter words that would fit. But extremely good. It was an extreme. The next game is gonna be the revealed. All right, let's see how we do on the reveal today. The category is arts and culture. We know that the correct answer has exactly 6 letters, and we get this heavily redacted document that we can unredact certain things for to try to figure out what the answer is. Let's read the heavily redacted document, see if we can figure this out. Okay, arts and culture. Okay, the thing we're looking for: prunus dulcis. Blank important blank blank, and it's blank blank, native to southwestern blank blank are grown primarily in blank blank between 28 degrees and 40 degrees north and between 20 and 40 degrees south. Blank produces nearly blank percent of the blank supply. Blank grown as blank may be eaten blank blank or blank and are commonly used in blank blank. The fact that it's not a prune, but it's prunus dulcis. It's like a sweet prune or something like that. But what would it be? It's got 6 letters. I think it's a fruit. A 6-letter fruit, I'm thinking, but not for sure. Native to southwestern something. Let's see where it is that it's native to. Southwestern Asia. So it's not lychee, is it? That's 5 letters. No, actually. How do you spell lychee? No. Isn't that how you spell it? Southeast Asia. Is that how you spell it, by the way? Yeah, that is how it's spelled. I don't really know. Interesting. Well, I didn't know it. I cheated though. I would not have guessed it, but I don't care. I don't have all day. As you guys well know, I'm known for cheating on this one. So, hey, the other one I got yesterday's I got transparently, but typically when they give me a Latin name like that, I did not know the almond was native to southwestern Asia. So there are a bunch of facts here that weren't helpful, but which is fine. I bet this was considered a fairly hard one. It was. But once again, I don't have the will to necessarily play these like perfectly every day. All right, I'm going to do the type of trivia now, and then we'll do the reunion. This is going to be the hardest one of the week, the Sunday quiz. Yesterday's completely kicked my ass, so I'm not too optimistic, but let's give it a try and see how we do. Hannibal Journal. Oof. That was a complete guess, but it turned out to be a good one. Oof. Truman? Oh my God. Wilson. I don't know those kind of the presidential trivia ones ever. Those always get me. Another really hard one. I almost guessed Cyprus. Man. Yeah, we're not going to do too well. These are really good. Flight, a play on its eagle logo. Yeah, I thought they're the eagle logo. And they're the oldest brewery in the U.S., actually. That I did know. The tongue. Unlikely to cross this one. An airport in which city? Isn't it Moscow? Oof, I almost guessed Toronto, but it would have been wrong. Wanted to work during his daughter's recital, wanted to blank his which is assuage. Expiate. Yeah, those. I would say assuage, but they didn't give me that choice. Well, let's see. Follow me stripes. This helps you follow the dark rainforest. It was the Okapi. That makes more sense. Man, another hard one. Hey, it's 2 in a row where we did not cross. But as again, I like doing these. If they were easy and I got it right every time, it would be very satisfying when you do get it right. I would appreciate the better luck next time. But yeah, that's literally half the score I needed. But the ones I got them wrong because I did not know the answer. And in some of these, I got right because I guessed the answer. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes. All right, next we do the reunion. We got a lot more puzzles to do. I like to do these on a daily basis anyway, even if I don't stream, which would be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm just doing something I would normally do every day. What do we got here? We got a word here that's probably B something, A something, E. That's already kind of interesting because there's a limited number of things that can go where that C goes. Like an N can't really fit there. The L can't go there. It could be another vowel, but I don't see how that would work. So what could go after a B and before an A? P, no. Not another A, no. I don't think a Y would go there. The L won't go there. Could be a U, B-U-A something, E, B-H-A, I don't think so. A very limited number of things where the C can go. So to figure out what it is, I think it's, by process of elimination, we'll know what it is. Can't be another A. Could it be an O, B-O-A something, E? It could just be BOA, and then where the T is and the A, I think I kind of eliminated any possible words there. I'm going to try it. My feeling is this O is going to turn green. It was wrong. All right. Well, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about then. What could that be? I looked at all these letters, and I didn't see any that could fit there. Oh, I guess where the O is, it could be a place where the thingy is, where the adjunct is going to go. That has to be it. Okay, well, that's fine. All right, so let's see. We have a bunch of Y's, and they're not there. And then we have this three. I have C blank, N blank, B, E, and I think this A has to go there, right? Okay, at least we got this. So what is this word going to be? I mean, it could just be can and B, where the N and the O is where the dudes are going to go. I kind of think that's how it's going to work. And then this L has to go somewhere. Oh, there isn't another E that could move here, though. But it could be B-Y-E, by. We have a lot of Y's. I'm going to try it. Yeah, I had a feeling that was right. Can and by are definitely two separate words. So where the N is, it's either the N and the O, or the N. It has to be where the N and the O is. In which case, this word here it has to be a five-letter word that starts with an N, has an M in it. And I kind of feel this word has to end in S, right? So that's going to be fine. Oh, this is still S. It's there's two S's. Are these going to end in SS? Right? So that's good. Is it going to be something like impasse or something like that? No. Compass, I think. No? Yes, compass, C-O-M-P. And then the top word is going to be cocoa, C-O-C-O-A. All right, I think I got it from here. All right, this O is going to go there. This P is going to go there. And then we have another O, right? And an A. Yeah, we have an O. We have an A. We're basically going to finish this quite quickly. Compass. This word is going to be, this H has to either be there. Oh, nymph, N-Y, N-Y-M-P-H. We have all the letters for that. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. Hopefully we'll get this in 17. I did make one wrong move, so we're not going to get a 16 today. Unless we get real lucky here. But I got to get all these letters. Again, we know where the Fox and Hedgehog end up, where the N and L are. Because the can by is not going to fit together. So So then this word could be ape, A-P-E, or ale. No, it can't be ale, because the L would be yellow. And it can't be A-U-E, because I think I've determined this word has to be, yeah, okay. And then we have ensue. And the finally is going to be athlete. We could have gotten that in 16, except I made one incorrect move early in the game. 17 is considered a win. Anything 17 or less is considered a win. So that's in the win column, actually. So the Quirtle was a win. The revealed was a lose. The reunion was a win. The tightrope trivia was a lose. That was a really big lose. But hey, we got some more games to go. Next game is a fun game I really like. It's called The Loop. It's fairly new. Okay, so we got the first thing we're starting with is the state of Texas. All right, that's our fixed thing. Okay. The state of Texas is also known as the Lone Star State, so I kind of feel like that might even be already related to Texas. But let's see. Oh no, and then we got the state flag of Texas, the Lone Star flag. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe that's over there. We got the horn. Somebody honking the horn. And we also have one of these things that are known for honking, right? Bird known thingies. Oh, also has a feather. Let's put those together. We got a star there. I have a feeling that the star and the star. Let's put that over here, because this seems like this. It's going to go with Texas there, really. And then that's going to be the steering wheel, honking the horn, honking this, the feather. This is a keytar. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be about. We have, I think that's supposed to represent a black hole, by the way. We got a guy filling a hole with black stuff, so that's related to the black hole. We have a keytar and a key, a keyhole. So let's just start. We're just gonna do some things here. That. No. All right, let's just try this. This isn't right, but let's just see how bad we did. Not too bad at all. Real close. Oh my God, look at that. We were very close, because that's correct. So what we got is Texas state flag, Lone Star, a star that they can't star. The sun is a star. A black hole is sort of like a star that's collapsed on itself. A keyhole, black hole, a keyhole, keytar, tar and feather attached to the bird. Bird is a honking the horn of the thingy, Well, back to the thing. So I could tell you. Well, oh, we haven't checked it, but that's it. So and you can see if you do how they link. Texas, Texas flag, sheriff, star, the sun, black hole. Right. Black holes are created from stars like our sun. That's not true of all black holes. Oh, by the way, I see you there, Sun Galaxy, Keith Tarkio. Thank you for the participation. You can see that was pretty easy, so I didn't really have to, look for assistance. But a game that's coming up next, I really like it to, I really like to. We're gonna do the connections. I haven't done it yet today. We're getting close to the end of it. But help me out with this. I'll give you plenty of time to type in what you think our groups are for in. Just take your time. I'm going to read them out. As you know, because we've done this every day for the last 17,000 years, we get these 16 words and or short phrases. It looks like words in this particular case. And we've got to arrange them into affinity groups by affinity, but we don't know what the affinity groups are. And there's often a fake affinity group, a fifth affinity group that's not the real one, not a useful one. In addition, there's, of course, wordplay and in play, meaning things like precedent antecedent words, homophones, that kind of crap. By the way, Charles, good to see you. I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. Overall, I'm still kind of recovering from my trip in that, there's so much walk-in and, going through the airports and stuff like that. But it's fine. I feel good. I'm getting over it. Okay, so if you're listening today, I'm going to read these out. If you think you think of an affinity group, type it in the chat. And if I agree with you, well, let's try it out. It's a group thing. Okay, so we got diggity, like hot diggity dog. Okay, rocks, hot rocks, maybe slapdash, scrubs. That's a TV show. Surprises, rain, dissect or dissect, floors, Barbados. Community, stuns, sprinkles, showers, there's a lot of plurals, wings, drizzle, and friends. So, like, for example, Scrubs is a comedy. Everyone knows about Friends. Community, good show. What do you got there, by the way? Showers, rain, sprinkles, and drizzle. You think that's the fake group? Okay. I also was looking at showers. Well, by the way, if it is, the fifth was Wings. The fourth one's Wings. Wings is also a well-known comedy show. You think that's the fake one? The other thing would be, let's see. You're thinking showers, drizzle, sprinkles, and rain, right? For the water ones. Well, showers, rain, let's try it. Showers, rain, sprinkles, and drizzle. Is there a fourth one that could possibly be in there? Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's do that one. See, that's either the fake one or not, but it's fine. Precipitation. I still want to do Friends, Scrubs, Wings, and Community for comedy shows. He was right. You think the water one was fake? No, I kind of like. I think the water one was real. But this one is more things. These are definitely comedy shows or sitcoms, and specifically NBC sitcoms. All right, we got the green and the purple one. Okay, let's see what we got here. Barbados. This is where it gets a little hard. I'm gonna do a shuffle here. Dissect or dissect. Barbados. Diggity. Floors. Stuns. Slapdash. Surprises and rocks. I mean, stuns, surprises, floors, and rocks. Right? Has to be one, don't you think? And then what is I think yeah, and I already see what the last one is. The last one is the fourth one's going to be diss, slap, barb, and dig. So it starts with insult names. If you guys don't mind, we'll just get this one. Starts with kinds of insults. See what I'm saying there? Yeah. So the fake one would have been. Well, I don't know if there was a fake, like a fifth affinity group in this one. Huh. All right. Well, that's a win. That's a group win because I did the one you guys wanted first, or Charles at least. Yeah, and precipitation. Okay, I'm just gonna do the last big brain game of the day. There's always more tomorrow. It's gonna be the Octurtle, and I'm gonna pick the hardest one. That's the Quirtle or the Wordle, except I got eight. We got simultaneously solving eight of these. I've been doing this for years, so I'm pretty good at it. In fact, I effectively have memorized the dictionary, but I don't get to use my powerful three starting words. It picks them at random, and but we got a couple good things going on here. Okay, so it's upper right here. We have O something INE. And that's all I know. I know that the O has to start and the I has to go before the I. So it's O blank INE, and oh no, okay, it could be opine or ovine. So that's two things. Let's wait for a minute there. This one here, although there's I'm pretty sure this is going to be a WING word. So it's gonna have to be swing. At least we get that one. Oh, it wasn't swing. It could have been swing. What else could it be? That's interesting. I felt good that it was swing. What is it though? It's just it had to have an O in it. Oh, it was owing. Oh, I messed that up. That's fine. I messed up. Yeah, yeah. There's an O in it. Thank you for saying that. It couldn't have been swing, but it could have been owing. My bad. We could still potentially win this game, but it's gonna be hard. That's all right. Let's see if we got something with some good clues here. So, for example, we know there's where the O. We know where the N is. We also know there's a T and a C. Um, and it could be CO something NT, and so it could be count. I think it's gonna have to be count because we have not used the U yet. Okay, so that's good. And now the U shows up in a couple places. Oh, we have another one here. All right, again, still could be ovine or opine in the upper right. It could be a P or a V. This one here, we know there's two O's and a B and a T. So the only thing this word on the top left could be is robot. Trust me on this one, because the only vowels available are O. There has to be two O's because this yellow at the top, you where you see the green and the yellow one. So I know there's a second O. That we know where the T is. So it's either B O something O T, or oh yeah, okay, wait, I already know that one's for sure. We still don't know if it's opine or line. All right, let's keep moving. That one here is we have no clues on. This one here is interesting because there's an A and an I. Okay, I think this one on the right has to be inane because it has the I and the A have to go where they go where I put them. But okay, could there be something besides the N there? Two N's. So it could be Ipane, Elaine, Emaine, Jane, Evin. No, it has to be inane. Okay, that's fine. So we got that word there. Now we have a word that starts with an EA but has an S in it. So it could be easel. No, easel. Like that, spelled like that, right? I'm just gonna guess. I mean, it could be a couple of other things, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm pretty good at this game. And let's see. We got three guesses to guess three more words. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting because we know there's a U and E. Or sorry, we know where the U and E is, but we also know that we have two consonants, an F and an L. So it could be FLU something, but we have a couple things it could be because it could be flume or fluke. Should we just guess one of those? Let me look at the other ones first, but I'm sure it's FLU something E. That's easy enough. It could be fluke, but we haven't used M, and flume is a word. I'll guess fluke if you want, but it's a 50-50. And again, we still haven't figured out opine or ovine. We're not doing that well. All we know, this one here is probably ULLY because we finally figured out there's an L in it. So ULLY could be pulley. I'm gonna guess pulley because even if it's I like pulley. Come on, pulley. Darn, pulpy. That was the other thing it could have been. Anyway, the point is now we know this word is opine, not ovine. But we're not going to win because we're missing. We missed a guess. That's fine. Can't win them all. And this word here is going to be FLU. It still could be fluke or flume. We're not going to figure that one out. This word here is going to be pulpy. That's the only other one it could be, P-L-P-Y. But that's our last guess. So we did get pulpy, but we didn't get fluke. And at the time, it was fluke. You were right, by the way. Um, it could have been dully too, by the way. It was, you guessed fluke, and it was correct. It was fluke. So if we guessed fluke, that would have been good. But at the time, we had not guessed any M letter, any words that had M. So it still could have been flume. But this word in the lower right is fluke. I knew it's FLU something E. It was. You were right. I mean, it's a cool game in that we were close, but it was a good one. It was a hard one. I don't mind losing again because I only get about 60% of these. All right, listen, I got a lot of streaming to do. We're like an hour and 7 minutes in. I still want to like do Ken's Piano Lounge for like an hour, and it takes me a good 5-6 minutes to switch over. So let me start getting switched over to the music category for Ken's Piano Lounge. Stick around if you like. If you want more games and more flying around, regular old time. I think that's about the right amount of games. Especially because, yeah, I mean, I thought long and hard about what kind of games would fit into my stream, that are not like, I don't want to play Forza Horizon or, some kind of first-person shooter game. I just, I wouldn't be able to really interact with chat or have a good time. I just wouldn't enjoy it, that's all. All right, so we're going to do the music category. Let me do my mid-roll, and we'll see on the other side of that one. Okay, mid-roll. I do like the connections. We had a good time with that one. Alrighty then. And he says all the shit in here. There's some noise. Just get my piano ready here. Warming it up. That's not right. Get this here where I like it. There we go. There's definitely some noise floor here, but hello? Oh, it's just in the left channel. Let me just do a little deduction here. Check, 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 check. Here, that's much better. Check. Yeah, there's something. So there's just a terminal over on my mixer. It's an analog mixer, so shit like that can happen. All right, let's get into it. I think I fixed it. A little warm up here. Boy, this thing's fucked up too. I'll get shit fixed up too. Stand is touching my desk there. All right, welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. What's Ken's Piano Lounge, you might ask? Nobody ever does. But it's basically this list of songs right here. The songs list, you know. I didn't start with my first song, but I will now. It's usually say a little prayer. A little back racket. he's not supposed to go? No? He'll be fine. Alrighty, a little there, whatever his, yeah, Natalie Cole version of that song, background song. Oh, okay. Little Joe Jackson. Gotta practice it. There's another Todd Rundgren song here. Alright, do that one later. Let's see what I want to do next. Hey, this one. I forgot the opening. I'll figure it out. This is the opening. To Billy Joel. Misty for you right there. Okay, much more songs to do. more songs to do, I think, here. Like this one. All right, almost done with my last song here for today, at least. you have it. There you have it. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm definitely gonna sneeze. Not gonna sneeze. All right. Anyway, moving on. I had a great time doing the show today. Take that off. It's starting to get hot. It's starting to be summer. It's hot. It's hot. A couple more. A quick observation that I should have made earlier. I did not change my shirt. I wore the same shirt today as yesterday. That's kind of embarrassing. Nobody caught me on it, and I'm self-reporting. I promise I will change the shirt tomorrow. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. All right. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Come here,